Hi guys, welcome back, or welcome if you're new. My name is Cass and it has been a while. It has been a while. If you watched my last video, sorry you guys, I'm like losing my voice. I'm not sure why. Anyways, if you watched my last video, you probably saw that I have been really struggling with my mental health, and so I had to kind of take a step back from YouTube and just give myself a break. I've been extremely overwhelmed in my personal life and my professional life, and I just needed to take some things off my plate for a little bit. But I feel like I am starting to feel more like myself now, and I felt inspired to start filming, and I thought, what better way to make a comeback than to pick our March TBR. I still have been reading. I have been updating my books on Goodreads, and I think what I'm going to do is a combined video of my monthly wrap up for January and February. And then after that, I'll try to stick with a monthly wrap up. So what I decided to do this time, because I'm still kind of low energy, even though I'm feeling better, I'm not 100% better. So what I did is I collected a bunch of prompts, and rather than writing them all out for a jar, because I just, to be frank, don't have the energy or motivation to do that, I put them in a list. I put them in a randomizer online, had them randomize the prompts, and spit them back out in a list numbered 1 through 85. I have 85 prompts. And what we're going to do today is spin the wheel. You guys know the wheel. We are going to spin the wheel and then select the corresponding prompt off of the list and do it that way. Okay? So it's kind of a mixture of the jar and the spinning wheel. If you're new here, I read an average of 10 to 15 books a month. I do check out books from the library, and so I read them as they become available. And I'm also a mood reader. So what I like to do is pick about 10 books to put on my TBR for the month. Then that leaves some room open for other books that I may read, books that I already have planned, that kind of thing, ones that pop up on my library list, new releases, etc. And then 10 prompts gives me, or 10 books, I guess, gives me plenty of books to choose from for mood reading. Does that make sense? Without further ado, let's get into it. So I have put 1 through 85 on the spinning wheel, which is a lot. Those little slices are very tiny. But let's do our first spin. It's a good thing it tells me, because I cannot read the little tiny little slices of pie. So number 37 is what it selected. So let's go over to our list. I have it right here in my phone in a note. And prompt number 37 is, a book set in another country. Okay. So I'm going to, first of all, I'm going to go through my library books and see what I have checked out, and also what's going to be available soon. Does a fantasy world count as another country? Let's see here. Ooh, I have The Masterpiece by Fiona Davis. I think part of it takes place out of the country, but a lot of it takes place in New York City, so we're not going to go with that. Let's see. Oh, nice. Okay. So I have The Guardian and the Thief by Megha Majumdar. Megha Majumdar, I think. I will put it up here. This just barely became available. I believe it's a literary fiction, and I'm not sure where I got the recommendation, but it was probably somewhere on BookTube. I've had it on hold for a while. It just came in, and I knew nothing about it. But let me read to you what it is. I just went based off of the recommendations. Megha Majumdar's electrifying new novel, following her acclaimed New York Times bestseller, A Burning, is set in a near-future Kolkata, India, in which two families seeking to protect their children must battle each other. A piercing and propulsive tour de force. It was a National Book Award finalist. That might have been where I got it off of. And also, Oprah picked it for her book club. But anyways, it sounds like it's maybe a speculative fiction, which I love speculative fiction. And it takes place in India. I love books set in India. I've learned a lot about the Indian culture. I went to India, spent some time there. So I'm really excited. So book number 1 will be A Guardian and a Thief. Okay, so now it's removed prompt number 37. And we will do another spin. Okay. while we're waiting, by the way. Look at my gorgeous flowers my boyfriend gave me for Valentine's Day. These are my favorite flowers. Okay, 55. Let's see what's on 55. A book set in the current season. Okay, I'm going to take this to mean the season that we're doing the TBR for, because currently, really, it's winter, but March we start getting into spring, and you guys, I really need spring in my life, so we're going to pick a book that is set in spring, if possible. I don't know how you know that all the time. Let me see what books I have that might fall under that description. I'm looking right now on my TBR cart. This doesn't really specify the season. Okay, you guys, so far I'm striking out on finding something that is set in spring, but I'm going to check. So I checked my TBR cart. I'm now going to check my Audible backlist that I have. I have tons of books on there that I haven't read. I also have Libro FM. We're going to see. We're going to find something. We're going to figure this out. I haven't found anything yet that explicitly takes place in spring, but I think I found a contender. And that is The Enchanted Greenhouse by Sarah Beth Durst. She wrote The Spell Shop, which I loved. I'm not usually like a cozy fantasy person. I haven't quite nailed down when I like it and when I don't. For me, it's either like 5 stars or like 2. Like I either love it or I don't like it at all. I never find just like oh, it was pretty good. So nonetheless, my point is that I loved The Spell Shop. I rated that 5 stars, and I've had this on my TBR for a while. And even though it doesn't necessarily say it takes place in spring, let me tell you about the setting. Sarah Beth Durst invites you to her new standalone novel, nestled on a faraway island brimming with singing flowers, honey cakes, and honeyed love, on an island full of magical greenhouses. I mean, it's very springy, right? Like, I really want to read this one, and I think it fits the prompt. Are we ready? Spinning, spinning. Number 78. Okay. Oh, number 78 is Boyfriend Picks for Me. I think what I'm going to do is ask him if he has a book that he really wants me to read right now. And if he doesn't, I'm going to send him some options, maybe out of books he's already purchased for me, because he buys me books as gifts a lot. We both love books. We both love to read, because I have a lot of books to choose from. Hang on just a minute. I know he's there because he just texted me. What is he doing? Okay, we are going to text him real quick. I've texted him, and we'll wait to hear back from him. Guys, I feel like I'm far away from you. I'm going to bring you a little bit closer. Okay. Let's move on to the next prompt while we're waiting to hear back from him. Okay, ready? Spin. $84. All right, let's go see what 84 is. A contender for the last prompt. Okay, you guys, that isn't going to work because it's my boyfriend, right? We're going to spin again. We're going to spin again because that's just not going to work. 34. Okay. A graphic novel. This is a good prompt, you guys, because I have several graphic novels, but I haven't read them yet. Like, I want to. And, well, I guess I've read a few with my children, but I haven't read one for me. That's like something I want to read, you know? I already know what I want to read. I don't even have to go look, you guys. I have not read the Heartstopper series, and I know that is a very beloved graphic novel series. And I own it. I just haven't read it. I have watched part of the series on, I think it was on Netflix maybe, which I really enjoyed. So I do want to read the graphic novel. So we're going to put Heartstopper, book number 1, on our list. Okay, let's pick another book. So far we've done 4 prompts. 6 to go. Still waiting to hear back from my boyfriend. All right, let's do this again. I'm wearing this green sweater today, and it kind of goes with this whole vibe. 50. Okay. Ooh, good. A book by an author of color. I love this. I love this prompt. Let me figure out my contenders for that. Okay, so far I have on my list The Bewitching by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. She is a Mexican-Canadian author, brown skin. So we're putting her on the list. So I also have on my TBR pile The Final Strife by Sara El Arifi. She is a British author, but she's Black. The cover, you know what? I think I'm going to pick this one. I really want to read The Final Strife. I've heard really good things about it. And not only, let me show you. Not only is it written by an author of color, but also it looks like our main character is a person of color. So I like this. I feel good about this, and I really want to read this book, so it's a good excuse. Now, I am trying to slow down on starting series until I finish more, but I did finish a couple of series over the last 2 months. I know I finished at least 2. I might have finished 3. So I'll allow it. Okay, so I put The Final Strife on my list. Guys, I can't seem to get my camera right today. Okay, I feel like so out of practice because it's been like 2 months since I filmed anything. So I apologize. Let's go back and spin. Ready? Spin. So you guys, if you're in the US or even if you're outside of the US, you've probably been seeing all of the crazy things that have been happening here. It's been weighing really heavily on my heart. I consider myself an activist. I want to stand up for the things that I believe are right, that maybe not everyone else supports, or like maybe the majority isn't supporting at the moment. I want to be an advocate for minorities. And I also need to focus on good things happening because it feels like bad things every day, all the time, and it really does not help my depression. So one of the things I was thinking about, I think I might start a thing here. Let me know what you guys think. But I might start a practice here of maybe mentioning things that need support, but also focusing on good things. And the good thing I want to focus on is that this week, our Department of Education abandoned anti-DEI practices. So we had a law saying that we have DEI initiatives, which is a diversity and inclusion initiatives in hiring and in education for like teaching students. Our president came in and tried to make everything anti-DEI, which feels very racist to me. And so I'm very, very happy while we still have DEI, anti-DEI initiatives going on in other departments or in other areas of our country. I'm extremely excited and grateful that the Department of Education, after some hearings and rulings in the court system, has decided to abandon anti-DEI. And in that vein, I like to make sure that the books I'm reading are diverse, that I'm getting lots of representation from different backgrounds. And so I think my prompts reflect this and my TBR naturally reflects this, but I am always going to kind of do a once over and make sure that I am always keeping my reading diverse because I don't want to end up like in an echo chamber. And one of the things I love about reading is learning about other cultures, about other countries, about other people's lives, like the struggles that other people face, the achievements of other people that are not like me. I love learning, and I really believe in inclusion. So I'm really happy, even though we only have 5 books so far, I'm really happy with what we have because it's already very diverse and inclusive. We have characters of color. We have people of color authors. I actually have 2, one set in another country. I've got Heartstoppers, which is LGBTQ friendly. So yeah, I'm liking where this is headed, where this TBR is headed. Okay, after all of that, the picker chose number 9. So let's go see what number 9 is on my list. 9 is a book published before 2020. I love this prompt because I feel like booktube and booktok and all of that really exploded after 2020. We are inundated with like booktok recommendations, and a lot more people have started reading, but I think that a lot of really good books have maybe just been overlooked that were published before 2020. And I want to kind of go back and read some of those. Also, I was busy being a young mom and working and going to school. And there was a period of time in the 2010s, essentially, where I wasn't reading a lot because I was very busy reading school books or taking care of children or whatnot. So I want to catch up on all of those good books that came out during that time period. With all of that being said, let's take a look at what my options are. I just pulled a bunch of books off of my cart, and we're going to check them. So this is All My Rage by Saba Tahir. I've been wanting to read this for a very long time, and I suspect that it might have been released before 2020, but we'll find out. Let's see. No, 2022. So older, but not before 2020. Okay, this is The Prisoner of Heaven by Carlos Ruiz Zafón, which is the same writer as something Shadow. You guys, my brain. I'll put the title here. But I loved that book. It was excellent. I think I gave it like 4.75 because I didn't get that like 5-star feeling, but it was really, really good. So I kept it just below. This is set in 1957, so it's at least not a contemporary. Let's see, when was this written? Yes, okay, so this was first published in 2012. So that's a possibility. I have The Art of Hearing Heartbeats by Jan Philip Sendker, which, look at this beautiful cover. I've had this on my TBR for, I don't know, over a year now. And I think it is an older book. So let's see when it was written. Yes, this was written in 2006, and it looks like it was translated. Where is this originally from? Oh, it's German. So this is a German author, and this is a translated work. So that's always good to know, because I think one of my prompts also is about picking translated works. Okay, I also picked up Victoria Hislop's The Island, which I know is before 2020, because this is the 10th anniversary edition. So obviously that is dating back to before 2020, but just for fun, let's look and see when it was written. Okay, so this 10th anniversary edition came out in 2015, and it originally was published in 2005. So definitely before 2020. So far I have these 3 options. Looking to see if there's anything else that I might want to read. Let me look at my audiobooks. Okay, I have several books on here, lots and lots of books. So let me go through. Sorry, that's my cats. My cats are over here. They like to make lots of noise. Okay, so Mistborn was written before 2020. I'm going to hold off on starting it until I finish some of my other series, because I just know that I will get sidetracked. I just know I'll get sidetracked. So I'm not going to pick a Brandon Sanderson book, but not because I don't want to read him. Okay, I have What Alice Forgot by Leanne Moriarty. I've had this for a long time. I've read a lot of her other books. I really like her work. So I have The Rent Collector that I've been wanting to read for a long time, and it looks like it was released before 2020. Let me see. Was published, in 2012. So that's an option. You guys, sorry, my cats are being so noisy. You guys, there are a lot of books on my list that I didn't realize were published before 2020. I'm happy to see that some of them actually have become popular since, in recent years, that were written a long time before. So that makes me happy. There's a lot of books on here that are part of series, but new series. Again, I don't want to do that until I get caught up on finishing other series, because I'm really focused in 2026 on finishing series. And then when I start a series, wanting to stay caught up or binge it and read it all back to back right away. So I have several series I want to read this year, but I'm going to binge them. And so I will probably do reading vlogs for those. You guys, I thought that my cats were playing with each other because they're being noisy, but I just realized that one of them is sound asleep over here. So my one active cat is making all that noise by herself. She's playing by herself. Manon! What are you doing? You're being so noisy. What are you doing? Okay. Also have The Orphan Keeper by Cameron Wright, which is the same as The Rent Collector. I should really probably delve into his books. I've been in the mood a lot lately for historical fiction or general fiction that makes a statement, or literary fiction, just because of everything going on. It's helping me process my feelings about the world. So I think that what I've learned about myself is that I don't read so much for escapism. It's great. It's actually a positive aspect of it, but I think I really enjoy reading to learn and to help me process my own life experiences and feelings. I have a lot on here that are before 2020, so I think we're going to start with, choose between The Rent Collector, The Art of Hearing Heartbeats, The Island, and The Prisoner of Heaven. His books are they're an experience. They're an immersion. into a story. I think I understand his writing style, and I don't think I'm going to be in the mood for this. Like, I don't think I'm going to have the focus that this is going to require this month. So I'm going to eliminate that one. The Island is, oh, this is inspired by a true story. Okay, so 50 years later, making a life-changing journey of her own, Alexis Fielding feels the pull of the abandoned island, a distant shadow off the coast of Crete. She knows it holds the secrets to her mother's past, buried for so long, but surely not forgotten. That's a very, very short description, but I think it's about a leper colony, so people that were basically exiled because of their disease and started a colony on another island. Life on Spinalonga. You guys, my boyfriend is Greek. I should be able to speak Greek. I should know how to pronounce things, but I don't. I want to learn Greek. That is one of my goals for the next year or two, is to focus on starting to learn Greek. But my brain, when I start to read another language, because I also speak Spanish, I automatically want to, my brain's like, okay, we're not speaking English. And it automatically defaults to like the pronunciation or the type of emphasis on words that we use in Spanish. And it really is a struggle when I see like Greek words, not to read them the way that I would read a Spanish word, if that makes sense. That's this book. Okay. And then The Art of Hearing Heartbeats is when Julia Wynn's father disappears one day, her family is shocked and confused. That is, until they find a love letter he'd written many years ago to a woman in Burma. Intent on solving the mystery and piecing together her father's mysterious past, Julia decides to put her own budding legal career on hold to travel to the small mountain village of Kala. There she is approached by a man who claims to know her father and who also seems to have an uncanny knowledge of Julia herself. She meets with him every afternoon and listens to incredible tales of her father's youth, of his childhood blindness, his education at a monastery, and most of all, about his romantic relationship with a local girl. What Julia uncovers is a tale of unimaginable hardship, resilience, and passion that will forever change her own life. Ooh, this kind of feels like this is really calling my name. I don't know why. I read this and I think this is what I want to pick. Yeah. That's what we're going to do. We are going to read The Art of Hearing Heartbeats, published before 2020. Whew, that was a hard one. I actually had a lot of books to choose from. Okay, I just heard back from my boyfriend and I said, do you want me to send you options or do you want to just send me a recommendation, like a book that you want me to read? And he said he'll send me one. He's still thinking about it though. So I'll let you know when he comes up with a book for that prompt. Let's move on to the next one. It's like the wheel disappeared. So I'm just waiting for it to regenerate. It's really weird. It didn't populate, but I hit spin and it still worked. So it picked number 7, even though I can't actually see the numbers on the wheel. So we will, oh, now it populated. Okay, whatever. Let's go to number 7. Oh, a reread. This is a great prompt. I have been really enjoying rereading books. So let me think about a book that I want to reread. Oh, I know. You guys already know what I want to reread. I want to reread When the Moon Hatched. Because if you know, you know, I love this book. I'm obsessed with this book. I think I own more copies of this book than any other book. I met Sarah A. Parker and I just love her and her husband as people. They are just like the nicest people. And the sequel is coming out very soon. And so I really want to reread and like be super fresh on this book. I'm thinking about doing a video on it so that people can get a recap, but also so that if you're reading it for the first time, it can help you like break it down because there's a lot of information in that book. But once you kind of grasp it all, it's so good. So yeah, we're going to read When the Moon Hatched. So I'm going to add that to my list. I've been thinking about this book a lot lately, so I'm really excited. I'm really glad that was one of the prompts. Okay, let's spin again. Here we go. 64. Let's see what 64 is. Oh, a book from a subscription box. That's a very good prompt because I get so many books from my subscription boxes and I am terrible about keeping up with them, but I really want to because I want to know if these are boxes I want to continue to receive, but also if I don't want the book, I want to be able to resell it, to someone who will like really appreciate it. I really want to read We Who Will Die, but by Stacia Stark. But that would be starting another series I've heard really good things about it though. Is it if it's a duology, that's okay. I think I can handle a duology. Let's see. No, it looks like this is going to be a trilogy. So I'm not going to pick that. Let me go see what I've got. Hang on. Okay, we've got some contenders here. I have so many books to choose from, but I was trying to pick books that either I like really caught my attention or that I'm hoping are maybe standalones. It's really hard in the fantasy genre, which most of my subscriptions are for fantasy. They usually end up being series, or if it's a duet, like if it's just a duology, then that's okay too. So the first one is King of Ravens. Look how beautiful this book is. So pretty. I just love pretty books, you guys. This is the Fairy Loot edition. So the little tagline is, he'll do anything to keep her, she'll do anything to escape. Trapped in a twisted bargain, Rhiannon is thrust into a world of withered gods, scheming courtiers, and ancient magic, but she refuses to be a pawn in a game she never agreed to play. Her new husband is powerful, cold, and infuriating, and she is determined to hate him. But in a court where beauty masks cruelty and every promise has teeth, hatred burns slowly into something else, something dangerous, something that could undo them both. So it looks like it's enemies to lovers. Let's see. It looks like this is going to be a duology, and the second book, do we have a release date? I don't know, but I can do a duology. So this is a contender. It has really good ratings on Goodreads. So, and it's Claire Sager, which, you know, she's a very well-known author. Okay, the next one is House of Blight. I had this on my TBR before. I think that my library hold on it got missed. Okay, so yeah, by the way, this is House of Blight. Beautiful edges, and this is, I believe this is an Owl Crate edition. Oh no, this is a Page and Wick edition. Page and Wick. 3.75. But I don't know if it has more to it. It says book 1. I don't know how many are going to be in the series. Okay, the other one I picked is The House of Sappho by Marissa Meyer, because she tends to write standalones or like interconnected, and so I thought maybe this would be a good. Okay, yeah, so I think this is a standalone, so this would be a really good option. The Bookshop Below by Georgia Summers. It's still in its plastic. I haven't unwrapped it yet. Okay, The Bookshop Below is also a standalone. I did pretty good picking, you guys. And Graceless Heart is by Isabella Banez. This is a gorgeous edition by Owl Crate. Look at this. So pretty. And I actually have another edition of it from Fairy Loot also. Let me see if it's I know it's not a standalone. No. This is going to be a quartet. 4 books. I definitely don't want to start a 4-book series right now, so we're going to set that aside. Let me see which of these books is readily accessible for me on the library app, because I need to have the audiobook in order to get through all of these books. I primarily listen to audiobooks, or I do like a companion read where I read this at the same time as I'm listening to the audiobook. Let me see what I can get, because I can't get any of these on audiobook anytime soon. They all have very long waits, or they're like Audible originals. Like, let's see, the King of Ravens is going to be, it's not even released yet, but it's an Audible original. So like we won't be able to get the audiobook from anywhere else, which sucks. I hate when that happens. So what I did instead is I went to my holds list to see what might be coming up soon, because I often put these books on hold that are coming out in the subscription boxes. And I do have a couple that are going to be available this month. So the first one is The Raven Scholar by Antonia Hodgson. And I don't have the book on me at the moment. I'm not going to go try to find it at the minute, but The Raven Scholar. That's an option. I've heard that's really, really good. Okay, I do have The Graceless Heart coming to me soon, so I could read that even though I was resistant to starting a new series. I also have The Thorn Season, which I have a Fairy Loot edition of Thorn Season. I have been wanting to read that. Okay, I'm getting bullied into starting a new season. By prompts, you guys, by prompts. Okay, what I think I'm going to pick is Thorn Season, and here's why. It is a trilogy. The second book is supposed to come out this year, but I've heard really good things about it. It's rated highly. I've had it on my shelf. In fact, I bought it before I even received it from Fairy Loot, so now I have 2 copies of it. So I kind of want to figure out if I even like it so that I can figure out if I want to keep the books. But also, it's a YA romantasy, and I love YA books in general, but with the amount of weight that is on my brain right now. Sometimes it's really hard for me to focus, especially if there's a book with like a lot of world building. And so I love going into like a YA fantasy because they tend to be like just a lot more accessible and I don't have to think as hard. There's not as much to follow, but they can still be really good. So I think I'm going to pick Thorn Season. We are going to add that to the list. And then my boyfriend is being silly and he was like, okay, I picked a book for you. Let me tell you what he said. He said, okay, I picked a book for you. I want you to read How to Take Care of Your Man in 10 Easy Steps. And then he sent me a link to it. Anyways, he was just kidding around, but I thought that was funny. Oh, okay. He wants me to read Poppy War. So we want to read Poppy War together because we have tickets to see R.F. Kuang at an event at the end of the summer. And I already have all the audiobooks. I purchased them with the intent of reading the series. It's been on my TBR for a very long time. And I feel like I'm in the right mind frame right now. Like, I feel like it will resonate with me. It might make me upset, but, you know, it is what it is. So we're going to add Poppy War to it. And he said he's going to read it with me too this month. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so 2 more prompts, you guys. We're almost done. This was like a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. My TBR is just never ending. Okay, let's get our 9th book. 64. Why do I feel like we already did 64? Didn't we already do 64? Yeah, that's the one I just did. Maybe I didn't remove it. Okay, remove choice. Let's try it again. Number 3. I love the number 3. Let's see what that book suggestion was. A translated book. Okay, remember I said earlier that I wanted translated books? Well, darn it. Maybe I should have kept this one for... Maybe I should have kept this one for that. Okay, no, that is not translated. I have the phone book, the phone booth at the edge of the world, which is, I think, translated from Japanese. Yeah, it is. Let's see. I don't think I want to read that though this month. What about, I have some kind of classics on here that might be The Master and the Margarita. I've had this on my TBR for forever. It's an old book. I think it's kind of considered a classic at this point. I got this edition. It's like a beautiful 50th anniversary edition. And I got it secondhand, you guys, for like $2, I think. So I love secondhand shopping. Why doesn't it say? Ooh, this is about Stalin's reign. I didn't even know what it was about. Okay, yes. So it was originally written in Russian and translated. I thought of something else. I also really want to read the Iliad, which is, I want to read Emily Wilson's translation. So the Odyssey is coming out. There's a new film adaptation coming out. I know my boyfriend is going to want to watch it. He's Greek. Like, he's all about Greek history and mythology. And to be fair, I loved it before I even met him. So, okay. So I looked up the Odyssey. The film is coming out in July. So I have some time. I am going to Greece this summer again. And so I think I might save the Iliad and Odyssey till we get a little closer to July. And The Master and the Margarita was written by a Russian in the Soviet during Stalin's reign and then wasn't published until after his reign. This feels very relevant to me right now. I want to read this. I feel like this could be really powerful. Let me see if I can get an audiobook copy of it. The Master and Margarita is available on Libby for me to check out as an audiobook. So I'm going to do it. So we're going to add this to the list. See, this like TBR prompt thing gets me to read books or think about books on my TBR that aren't like on the forefront of my brain. And it helps me go back and pick out books that have been sitting on my TBR for a long time. And even before I bought this, I had it on my list of books I wanted to read. So I'm glad that I get these prompts. And we have one more prompt. Our final pick, you guys. Ta-da! 56. A book from an unfinished series. Oh, good. I really needed this prompt because I am trying to finish series. Okay, this one ended up being pretty easy. I went to my library app. I looked up books that I have coming. One of the books I have on hold is The Heir, but I haven't finished Ember in the Ashes series. You guys have a really bad habit of like not finishing the last book of a series. I don't know what it is. I think it's like I just don't want it to end, or like if it's a series I really, really like, I was really enjoying this series. It's been so long since I read it, but I still surprisingly feel like it's pretty fresh in my head. This is one of the first fantasy series that I ever read, and I think for that reason it's like in my brain pretty solidly. I went to the library app to see if the audiobook was available, and it is. So I'm going to do A Sky Beyond the Storm. If I start it and I'm feeling like out of my depth, I might go back to just the book right before it, because I definitely remember book 1. I'm pretty sure I also remember book 2. I think I'm pretty clear on it, but thankfully all of those books are available at my library right now through the Libby app, so I could always just re-binge the series if I wanted to. Okay, so we have our 10 books. Are you ready? Let's go through them again. My final TBR for March is A Guardian and a Thief, The Enchanted Greenhouse, the first book in Poppy War, The Poppy Wars, Poppy War, The Final Strife, The Art of Hearing Heartbeats, When the Moon Hatched, Thorn Season, The Master and Margarita, and A Sky Beyond the Storm. I'm really happy with this TBR. Of course, I have other books that are going to become available or that just didn't fit my prompts that I will likely also be reading in the month of March. I will most definitely read more than 10 books, and I will probably get to most of these. Did I say Heartstopper? I think I skipped over Heartstopper. Yeah, for some reason I just did, for some reason. So Heartstopper. It's also. I think this is very doable. I'm happy about it. I feel like it's a very diverse reading list, lots of representation, lots of different genres, which is really good because, again, I'm a mood reader. So yeah, I'm very excited. Anyways, let me know what you guys thought about this process. If you liked it, it just makes my life a little bit easier right now, and anything that makes my life easier makes it so that I can film more often and sooner and get it edited and out to you guys. So I'm pretty happy with how this went. Let me know in the comments, number 1, if you liked this method. Number 2, should I now throw out the prompts that we already used, or should I just leave them in there and then like regenerate the list next month? What do you think, you guys? Let me know in the comments. Tell me what book you plan to read in the month of March. And if you are here watching but you don't know what to say, why don't you guys drop a flower in the comment section, because March is the first month of spring, and even though winter often goes into March, I'm going to be very hopeful that we're going to have spring weather. I need some warmth, I need some sunshine, and I love when the flowers start to bloom. So I hope to see you guys again very, very soon. I'm excited to be back. I appreciate your guys' patience with me. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!